Hey everybody, Evan Ronan here, and this is tip number 3. Okay, so we're going to do something that's really cool here. Never tried this before. Hopefully it works, but it should be really interesting either way. I am going to try and control your mind in this video. So, this is all about mindset and getting yourself into a good place where you can be both productive and creative. And sometimes it's hard to be both. Sometimes you just feel like you're typing and getting the words out just to get the words out. It feels more like labor than it does love. And that's okay. We all have days like that. But ideally, you want to be in that state where kind of the two things converge, right? Where you're feeling really energetic, passionate about what you're doing, and also able to produce a lot of content. So I want you in your mind now to go back to a time when you had that feeling, when you had that great day where you got a lot of words in and they were all great, or you felt like they were all great. You were writing so fast, it was almost like you couldn't get the words out quickly enough. And in your mind now, remember what that was like. So fill in all the details. Where were you? Were you at home? Were you at a bookstore? Were you at the coffee shop? Were you at a library? Were you in a car? Were you someplace you don't usually go? Were you sitting on a bench in a park? Wherever it was, kind of picture that in your mind and set the scene like you were as if you were setting a scene for one of your stories. Fill in all those visual details now. So think about the colors and think about all the different objects that were around you. And now keep that in your mind and start thinking also not just visually but kind of contextually and auditorially. So what was going on around you? Maybe you weren't that aware of what was going on around you because you were just so in the moment, but if you think about it a little bit, you will be able to recall some details. So was it busy where you were? Was it not busy? Were there a lot of people? Was it noisy? Was there music playing? If there was music playing, what kind of music was it? So think about all those little contextual details and try and, you're creating a movie in your mind now. You're reliving this moment where you were just in this great flow state and you were just producing all these words, and it felt easy. Didn't feel like work at all. So that's the visual, that's the auditory, and now try to recall what you literally felt like. So within your body, kinesthetically, sometimes people when they're in this kind of Zen-like state or flow state or whatever you want to call it, they have feelings in their body. So, did you feel like a surge in your chest? Was there more of like a gut type feeling as you were doing this? And just try and think about what you felt like. Were your hands shaking with excitement? Was there a smile on your face as you were going through it? And now actively try and recreate all these things. So if you were smiling, smile. If you were doing something else, if your feet were kind of tapping on the ground, do that now, right? So you can kind of see what we're doing as we go along here. You're thinking about the state that you were in before, where you were able to produce all these great words and you wrote this great scene, or however many scenes it was, and just really now amp all of the details up. So all the visual details we were talking about, make the colors in your head very bright and rich, and the sounds, if it was just kind of background noise, or if it was music, or maybe it was even a song or a soundtrack that you actually picked out, you're playing that in your head now, and you're going to make the music even louder, right? You're going to just kind of amp everything up. And then if you were feeling something somewhere in your body, I want you to imagine that feeling just spreading out all around you. So if it was in your chest, it's shooting up into your head, and it's shooting down your arms and down your whole body, into your legs, into your toes. And now here's what I want you to do. Stop this video and go right now. Okay, so I'm still here, obviously. Maybe you stopped the video and you wrote, and hopefully that little trick worked for you. You could kind of tell what I was doing as we were going through the exercise. We were trying to just get you literally feeling and thinking the same way you did before when you had this great writing session. Hopefully you felt kind of the same feelings. So you weren't just imagining how you felt. You started to actually feel that way again. And you could use that kind of energy and those feelings to kind of propel yourself into a writing session. So hopefully that worked for you. If you don't have time to write right now, maybe you weren't able to pause the video and go get some words down, that's fine. But try this exercise for yourselves later. Really try and get yourself just neurologically in the same kind of space that you were whenever you had this great writing experience. And if you're having trouble recalling a time where you had an experience like that, that's okay. Just imagine one and do all the same things. Set kind of the scene in your head, but make everything really bright and loud, and just amp everything up. Go all the way to 10 on the amp, all right? Go all the way to 10. So hopefully that worked for you. I've done it before. I'm kind of new to this. It's called neuro-linguistic programming, NLP for short. There is a wealth of information available online, a lot of it for free. Not an expert, so certainly not qualified to say what's good information, what's bad information, but I can say there's a lot of information out there. This obviously can be expanded well beyond writing into other things. So if there's things troubling you, or if you want to get better at something, NLP has been shown to work pretty well for a lot of people. So give it a shot. Get yourself in that great creative mindset. And what's awesome about that is, that the more you kind of experience that feeling as you're writing, the more you're going to associate writing with the feeling. So it's kind of like a snowball effect, right? So the better you feel about writing, the more you're going to write. The more you write, the better you're going to feel about writing. And so before you know it, it's not going to feel like work. I mean, sure, granted, some days it will feel like work, but on the whole, it will start to feel more and more like this creative, passionate pursuit, which is probably what you always thought it would be or intended it to be. So give that a shot. Again, it's called neuro-linguistic programming, and I hope it works for you. Okay, enough mind control for one day. Quick plug, gentle reminder, I have a book coming out December 16th. It's called Out of the Fire. I co-authored it with Nathaniel Green. It is a post-apocalyptic fantasy action thriller. All of our advanced readers are telling us that they basically read it in one sitting or maybe 2 or 3 sittings. So they're just flying through it. The book really moves fast. December 16th, that's coming out. And then on the heels of that, I'll have something else, but I'll talk about that later. So Out of the Fire, December 16th. Please remember to click subscribe so you can stay up with the content as I push it out. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'm happy to answer them. My author address is ronaniswriting@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk soon.